So the first thing we need to notice is that Yogananda's techniques of meditation, all of them, have one thing in common. Whether it is to put the attention in the spiritual eye, or to notice the breath and chant the mantra Hong So, or to give attention to the loudest sound in the right ear and practice the Om technique as is instructed, or the Kriya, giving attention to the spine, the currents in the spine. All of these techniques, all of them, have one thing in common, and it's very easy to miss that, and it's possibly the most important aspect of the techniques. What is it that is common to all of them? Because, see, Sri Yukteswar said, God is simple, everything else is complex. So we need to go to the fundamentals in order to find God. We cannot be in the overtones, we need to be in the fundamentals. So what is it that is common to all these techniques? Simple. Awareness. You bring the awareness to the spiritual eye. You bring the awareness to the breath. You bring the awareness to the loudest sound. You bring the awareness to the spine. Awareness is the foundation of all the techniques. And awareness is another word for consciousness, right? Because you could say, I'm aware of this, or you could say, I am conscious of this, or I'm giving attention to this. So attention, awareness, and consciousness are exactly the same thing. They are not different things. So awareness is the foundation of all yogas, in fact. Now, what is awareness? What is awareness? If you notice the presence of awareness at this moment, which is full of awareness, there is awareness of all the inputs of the senses, awareness of the visual inputs, awareness of the auditory inputs, awareness of the tactile inputs, awareness of the weight of the body on the chair, awareness of these words, awareness of the thoughts, awareness of the feelings, emotions. Awareness is very present at this very moment. So awareness is here. Consciousness is here right now. And it can be noticed. We need to notice that awareness is here. How do we notice that? Just notice it. Notice how much awareness there is here right now. Notice that there is awareness of all these inputs. It's very easy. It's obvious. It's self-revealing in a way. This moment is full of awareness, full of consciousness. So I'm not talking about something that doesn't exist. It's obvious that exists. Consciousness is real. There are a lot of scientists that are trying to understand what consciousness is. And of course, the reductionistic scientists, they will say consciousness comes from the organism, the body, you know. But spirituality says, no, that's totally wrong. The body dies and consciousness continues. What that means is that after the body dies, still there is perception. Another word for awareness. or consciousness. Or there is perceiving, the perceiving, another word, continues, it continues. Yeah. Now through the astral body. So there is perceiving at this moment, there is perceiving of the room, there is perceiving, and that is consciousness, that is awareness. And this is what you use in all the techniques, over and over and over and over. It's a whole, all the techniques, every time you practice the techniques, you are playing with consciousness. And it's very easy to miss this. It's a play in consciousness. All the techniques are a play in consciousness. So what is this strange thing called consciousness, right? Consciousness has some, I would say, attributes or lack of attributes. When you notice that there is awareness or consciousness or attention, as it's called in the teachings, attention mostly, when you notice that there is attention happening or awareness happening, then you also may notice that awareness is non-dual. It's not positive or negative. There is awareness at this moment, but it's not positive, neither negative. It just is. And everything else is dual. The thoughts, the emotions, the feelings, the desires, positive or negative. You may want to find God, or you may want to kill somebody, right? But it's not the case with consciousness or attention. It's non-dual. Also, all these mental elements, thoughts and emotions and so on, they come and go, they come and go, they come and go. Awareness is constant. Consciousness is constant. There's always perception, always the perceiving. Attention is always there. In the morning, you wake up, boom, there is awareness. You have your breakfast, there is awareness of the flavors of the breakfast. You go to your work, you drive, there is awareness of the road, otherwise you couldn't drive. You do your work, there is awareness of the work. It would be impossible to work without awareness. And then at night you watch TV, perhaps, you fall asleep, and before falling asleep, there's awareness of the screen. And then you fall asleep and there's awareness of the dreams. And in deep sleep, if there are no dreams, still there is awareness, because if somebody checks your body, you wake up. So awareness withdraw itself a little bit, but it's there. And the next day, you wake up, there's awareness of the room. So awareness is the only constant in your life. Everything else comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. And the techniques are all a play in consciousness. So consciousness is something very, very strange, very, very unique. And I want to remind you of something that is in the lessons, that is really a beautiful story, is this Himalayan deer that has a pouch, and the pouch smells, has an odor that is very attractive to the deer, and the deer wants to find this thing, and it looks everywhere and cannot find it. And eventually it goes mad and jumps out of a cliff and dies. What is that? What is that odor? What is that? That's consciousness. So the path of the seeker is a little bit a great paradox. It looks and looks and looks and looks and looks for God. Another word for consciousness, of course. The non-dual, the formless, the permanent, the eternal. It's looking for consciousness. The devotee, the seeker, is looking for consciousness, for God. And he looks for it everywhere. And God is that which is looking. It's looking for itself. So consciousness, this awareness, this perception that is happening right now, that's God within.